While you're rocking with us at Toxic Radio, don't forget to check us out on social media.
I want details, and I want them right now.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Now you're talking, brother.
Chat with us, keep up on news. Just don't make it weird. Don't be a stalker. Don't be that guy.
You just want to suck the joy out of everything.
Toxic Radio. Get infected.
Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia, because what if it's all true?
Spring is here. After months of being inside, no, your promo is done. We are finally free to go outside once again.
It's about damn time.
Make sure to make Toxic Radio part of your fun with the free app. Whether it's mowing the lawn, a round of golf,
Oh, what the hell? Sorry.
bird watching, or even streaking. Whatever you're doing, make us your soundtrack. Spring is back. Make it toxic.
Welcome to Week 32, Wire2Wire Sports. I'm your host, Gene Walzak, and I have a banger for you today. We have some epic announcement news to go over. To my right,
Banger?
Yes, a banger. To my right, I got the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Shallcross, Uncle Shally, Scholastic Shally, whatever you want to call him this week. To my left, I got No Sleeves, Kent State's own, Cleveland's own, College Cottrell.
It's about to get hot in here. That's why.
He rocking a Heat jersey. I don't know if that's going to be one of his picks tonight. We got a ton to go on. We got an epic announcement for Wire2Wire. That'll come near the end of the show. We are going to go over the UFC card that just happened. Somebody got that right. We're going to finish our coaches bracket finals. We'll announce the winner of the coaches bracket and who won the vote-in pool. We also have year-end awards, first team All-NBA, and our playoff predictions. A lot of NBA this show. We're going to have a little NHL talk. And then after that, we're going to give you our PGA predictions. Can I rock another 47-1 underdog?
Is he going to strike again?
Is he? Probably not. And then we're going to get into You Got to Be Kidding Me. So we got a lot to get into, so I don't want to waste any time. Let's get started. Let's talk about how Tony Ferguson's over the hill. Reminds you a lot of what I said last week. And he got completely dominated by Beneil Daryush. And, I got to give what's up, Dante? I got to give credit to Cottrell because he wasn't on the show last week, but he'd been saying this for weeks that Daryush was going to destroy Tony Ferguson. And that fight wasn't even close.
It was close. It was
brutal.
It reminded me of an old GSP fight.
Oh, get out of here. No.
Tackle, lay, tackle, lay, tackle, lay.
That was pure dominance on every level. Stand up, dominance.
Yep.
Got to the ground, dominance.
Damage, not dominant.
Not beating Tony in his prime. He's just not. Daryush wouldn't. Tony in his prime. Tony's just way past his prime. And, after that Gaethje fight, we should all seen it. And then after he lost the Gaethje fight, when he lost again.
You see it all the time, man. I mean, it's your body only has a certain amount of those wars in it. And we've seen it a million times with other fighters. You just never get back to where you were. You're always gonna have that one fight that's gonna take too much out of you, and you just never get back to that level. And unfortunately, that's where Tony is now.
Bro, I should have seen it it looked like Gaethje beat the life out of him, beat the fight out of him.
I think it's a little harder with Tony because you see it with other fighters, and after they fight a fighter like that, they take a little bit of an easier fight. Tony didn't stop fighting top 5 guys, so he's getting in fights where he's losing, but you're like, all right, he's losing to a top tier guy, and he's losing 4 rounds to 1 or maybe 3 rounds to 2. So he's in the fight, he's competitive. But to your point, 10 years ago, he wins all those fights.
Yep.
5 years ago, he wins all those fights.
Daryush wasn't even a close fight, though.
No, it wasn't.
It got to the point where Tony is just like I feel like that he's gonna get one more fight and then he's gonna get cut off his UFC contract.
I don't know if I'll ever cut him, but I think he's definitely like in that.
Well, push him to retire.
like,
Dana's famous for
He'll
that.
play his contract out, and then
Yeah, he'll be that. He's officially in gatekeeper status now.
Well, what's next for Daryush?
I think
Chandler?
he's got to wait, or unless he wants to fight Chandler.
he said he's not fighting for the rest of the year. He's about to have a kid, so he said he's done for the rest of the year. So he honestly has the luxury of waiting to see how everything pans out before
guess,
he
but
can pick his opponent.
That's one of those things hard to strike when the iron's
assume
hot.
he didn't. Let's assume he didn't wait till the end of the year. Like, let's assume that he got in fought right away.
Okay.
Wouldn't Chandler be the obvious answer there? Like, you just beat Ferguson. Oliveira beat Ferguson. Oliveira beat Chandler. Like, why wouldn't that be the obvious?
See, the problem with that for me would be that I'm sure we're going to get into this when we break down 155. I just think that at 155, the winner of Conor and Dustin is probably going to fight for the belt after it's all said and done. So at that point, Justin Gaethje is just sitting there like, who do I fight next? And
Michael Chandler.
So so if he's fighting,
that would be a great fight.
If he's fighting Michael Chandler, then Daryush has got to figure out somebody else to watch.
Well, if he's sitting out the entire year,
Chandler, we just said imagine
Chandler
if he's
Gaethje.
not.
I know.
Yeah.
But if he's sitting out the entire year, Chandler Gaethje just got me excited.
Yeah.
Got me out of my chair. Like, I sat up there. Did you not see that? I'm like, wait, it could happen. What do you think, Shally?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of like in like the situation Leon Edwards was in for a while. I mean, I think it's silly. Again, a lot of you have to know what they talked about behind the scenes. I don't think he's getting the next title shot because I agree. I think there's no way the winner of Conor and Dustin's not the next up.
Unless they don't want it for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, it came out 2 weeks ago that Poirier actually turned down the title fight because he wanted to fight Conor again.
Yeah,
I mean,
money.
And that's strictly what it was, and I don't blame him. He wanted to take the money fight.
It's a red panty night.
Yeah, it absolutely is a red panty night. So I think whoever wins that fight though is 100% going to be versus Oliveira next. And then I mean if he's going to sit out that long, then I would assume you're going to get. I mean, Chandler Gaethje is the only thing that makes sense, and the winner of that's probably next in line after Dustin Conor winner.
Well, we're talking about Chandler. Let's get into Oliveira versus Chandler.
Okay.
So I don't think there's too much. Dariush dominated. I don't want to waste any part of the show on the fact that Dariush dominated Ferguson. Ferguson's time is just going downhill, and Dariush looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into the other fight of the night because this fight was insane. You watch this fight, and Cottrell texted it right away before I even seen it because I didn't watch the fight live.
Mm.
He's like, "Wow, that went really quick." I'm like, "I wonder what he's talking about." Like that changed really quick.
Yeah.
And when I watched the full fight, I almost thought Chandler got the stoppage. Like it didn't. I agreed to them not stopping the fight because I'm a little bit liberal with that, as seen in the past. But Chandler almost got that stoppage.
It was close.
Like that was close.
Close.
How close did you think it was? You said not close when we talked about it.
So I thought it was a clean knockdown. For me, it didn't seem like it was that close because if you actually watch the replay, Oliveira geared up to go to guard. Like he was ready for Chandler to get down and try and grapple with him on the ground there. So I didn't think that it was really that close to being called, just because I felt like Oliveira knew what was going on. He knew what positions to get in and how to keep that fight going. Now, don't get me wrong. Chandler definitely had all the potential to stop him, but I thought Chandler took, if you look at it, I think Chandler took a little too long to get over to him and get on the ground. And then there was a certain point where I thought that Chandler should have just got off of him, let him stand back up because that's where he had the advantage.
Chandler didn't want to rush into his guard.
That's it.
And that
100%. I understand why.
No, I understand too. But again, that was something we talked about last week. He wanted no parts of that fight on the ground. He could say what he wanted, all leading up for the press and everything. Like I'll use my wrestling. He didn't want that fight on the ground. And I think when he started to run over and saw that he was kind of with it, he wanted no parts of that position. I agree with you. With a striker like that, I would have tried to get him up right away and try to knock him down again, and hopefully knock him out clean. I mean that once he got up and got his bearings, I mean it changed the whole fight, and that was pretty much it.
I felt like Michael Chandler was hesitant to get in the wrong position with Oliveira.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's exactly what happened why he lost the fight. Because
I agree
I
with you.
felt like that fight was so close to being stopped. And I felt like if he sprawled at the right time and just rabbit punched him a couple times, not even hitting him, hurting him, just rabbit punched him a couple times, could have won the fight.
I agree. I mean, if he would have got on top, right on top of him right away,
if he would have if he went right down with him and then hit him in the head probably 2 or 3 times, it probably gets stopped.
So Oliveira comes back next round and catches Chandler and caught him. And guess what Oliveira didn't do?
he
He
didn't
gave
wait.
him no room to breathe, right? None.
Not at all.
No room to breathe. He smothered. And like that extra right when he was running in after he caught him, that extra right that he hit him with in the corner was curtains right there. It was clean, flush. Chandler's still trying to get his feet. That cross right, curtains.
I will say though, Chandler, granted, he's not Oliveira level, but Chandler showed me a lot in his wrestling. Like the way he
Great wrestler.
transitioned. I mean, I knew he was a great wrestler, but Oliveira is one of the best in that division. So I was surprised to see how well Chandler was, especially against the best in the division.
He's a great wrestler, but it's how you can apply it in a fight, and that's the difference of a GSP, a Matt Hughes, even a Gaethje. It's how you can use it in a fight. Just taking somebody down and then not being able to do anything with it is completely different than a GSP or one of those guys that could take you down and then transition right into jiu-jitsu, get submissions, get the full mount, ground and pound. He's not there. He's not on that level. And you saw it. He was not comfortable. You just we already talked about it. There was no shot he was confident getting the ground and going against Oliveira's jiu-jitsu. He wanted no parts of it.
Dante,
Like,
I'm sorry. It was a left hook, not a right hook. He's corrected me for it. I'm sorry. I said a running right hook. It was a running left hook. Sorry, Dante. He's watched the fight 68 times.
He probably has.
I love him.
But, and that's something he's got to work on. Yeah. I mean, especially 155. 155 and 170, you have to be a well-rounded fighter unless you are, like, otherworldly elite at something else.
But see, there was a point in that fight though where Chandler had him on the ground, and I thought he might get a choke out of it. Like, and then he let go to reestablish himself. But I don't think that Chandler was. I think he can wrestle with Oliveira. Obviously, that's not how he wants the fight to go, and that's not what his game plan will be going into the fight. But I feel like he didn't trust himself in that position, and I think he should have, because he had the talent to do that. And to me, it seemed like he wasn't outclassed where he was at.
Again,
I don't think either one of them are outclassed when you're fighting for the title like that. Like, the last time I've seen a fight, and I hate saying this because his family's going to beat me up at this point. The last time I've seen a fighter outclassed like that in a championship fight was Eddie. Like, outclassed. Like, Conor outclassed him. Like, when do you see a fighter really outclassed? Like, they're a champion at least.
But he was outclassed because he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, Conor is kind of the asterisk there. Like, I mean, nobody's scared of Conor's ground game or his wrestling ability.
Right.
He has decent takedown defense, but his stand up is
He
elite.
better have decent.
Yeah. His stand up is elite.
He learned that really early.
Yes.
That he needed to learn decent takedown defense in that
then he learned it.
145 fight. Oh my God, dude.
But his stand up is elite.
Right.
Michael Chandler is not confident in his ground game other than wrestling and taking people down. And that is why GSP was so good for so long. That's why Matt Hughes is so good. They could take you down, you couldn't get them off of them, and then you could not submit them. Like, they were so good at jiu-jitsu and working on the ground that if they got on top of you, like, that was it. Like, there was nothing you could do. And Chandler's not there. He's not on that level. He's confident in getting to that point. He was not confident in working in Oliveira's guard, and you could see it. He wanted no part.
Not a lot of people are going to want to work in Oliveira's guard. Like, he's competent in that level to where he could do that to Justin Gaethje, where he can do that to Dustin Poirier, where he could do that to Conor McGregor, where he can do that to fighters that don't have the pedigree on the ground.
I agree, but when you're fighting for the belt against the guy who
Oliveira is a better version of Damian Maia at 155.
Agree. It's a great comparable. He's Damian Maia with way better stand up.
But nobody wants to get on the ground with Damian Maia. Nobody.
No, I mean, but there's guys that don't want to get into a 25-minute jiu-jitsu match with them, but there's guys that can hold their own and feel confident they're not going to get submitted either. There's a difference. You could still inflict damage versus then taking down and being like what do I do now? That's kind of where he was.
Yep.
And
it's fair.
It's something he's got to work on.
Okay. What's next for Oliveira? Winner of Dustin Conor?
I don't see how it's not. I just don't. I don't know.
Do you think Connor sells it? Do you think Dustin Oliveira sells tickets?
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
I don't think it does.
I mean, if Chandler and Oliveira can sell tickets, why wouldn't Dustin and Oliveira?
If
I don't think Dustin and that. See, it's the point. That was the worst pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, though, the
selling
co-main
event, watching it.
The co-main event wasn't great either, though. So there was no other fight to give it a little bit of
Diaz
push.
was on that card.
It would have been a good card. Yeah,
I get it.
Absolutely,
It's a better card. And I was just going to tell you, if it does end up being Dustin, you have Dustin coming off 2 straight wins versus Connor, but they're going to have a very strong with that pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
You're going to get a big name, like you're going to get like a Nunez or something like that. Like that's going to be your
I agree. It's got to be.
And it'll sell.
Because that was the worst selling card of the entire year.
If it's Connor versus him, you can put 9.
Honestly,
the Connor, you can put anybody.
You put 9 slot matches on it, and everybody's going to buy it.
I don't think it's a good matchup for Connor. Oliveira's going to take that fight to the ground.
That becomes interesting, but it also helps Connor because it makes Oliveira one-dimensional. Oliveira's not going to stand with him.
No.
So it's going to be, can Connor sprawl and land his shots, or can Oliveira get him on the ground?
In a 5-round fight, though, yes, I lean your way, Gene, where I agree that I don't think stylistically it would be a good matchup for Connor. But if
Connor's got to knock him out.
But if Chandler can, put Oliveira down like that, I don't see any reason why Connor wouldn't be able to do that.
If I'm Oliveira, I start to fight on my ass. What the hell am I standing up with Conor McGregor for?
Come on, but, God.
But clearly that's not how it didn't get to the ground. That fight didn't get to the ground with two guys who know how to wrestle. I mean, they didn't get to the ground until Chandler put him down. So
Chandler's striking isn't Connor's striking.
It's all, again, the back of his mind. Chandler didn't want the fight there. So
like, you ever do something where you star things like 3-star, 5-star, like 5-star. So like if 5 stars was the max, ready? Michael Chandler is like 3-star takedown defense, 3-star ground game, 3-star striking. Like he's like that
all around,
the moderate guy.
100%.
Conor McGregor is like a 5-star striking, 5-star takedown defense, 1-star on the ground. Like, styles don't make fights. Styles make fights. Styles make fights.
I mean, I agree with you. I just feel like what Oliveira showed me, and granted, it could be different in a Conor fight, but what Oliveira showed me is that he feels like he's confident to strike. Well, he was confident to strike with Michael Chandler. Obviously, it could be different with Conor, but over a 5-round fight, I see Conor knocking him out. If that was the case, if it was against Dustin,
those 5 rounds.
I don't either.
So I think Conor knocks him out in the first 2 rounds. Conor knocks him out in the first 2 rounds, or Oliveira taps him.
If that fight went past 3 rounds, I'd be shocked.
I would love to. The easiest bet of that fight. Ready? Conor by knockout. Oliveira by submission.
Yeah. If it goes past 3, Conor's going to get submitted because.
Yep.
Typically, he has a. I'm not going to say he doesn't have a tank, but we see that his tank gets very low in the championship round.
Exhausted a little bit.
It depends what kind of fight it is. I think if they're sitting there just dancing and striking, I don't think he's gonna get tired. He's a guy that when you put him on his back, it seems to just absolutely zap his tank. I don't know what that's about because I mean you watch any of the videos.
He spends so much of his energy trying to get up.
Well, that and I think it's Connor's and anybody that's fought him will tell you he's hard to hit because he moves so much. He's not a guy. His footwork is insane. He won't just stand in front of you, and that's a little bit different. Chandler's kind of more of like a straight ahead guy. Connor's not going to do that. But listen, Connor's got to beat Dustin first. So I mean, I'm not. I think he's going to beat Dustin, but that's another topic for another show.
We'll get into that in our show.
Yep.
What do we got next? Basketball, right? I'm kidding. Guys, I want to make an announcement. Make an announcement real quick, guys. I want to thank everybody from Wire2Wire family. Thank you guys for everything that you guys have done. We got 65 interactions, 65 votes on our fictional coaches bracket. If that doesn't tell you that people are intrigued or involved, I don't know what does. The final vote count was 35 for Eric Taylor, 30 for Herman Boone. So the winner advancing to the finals is Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights going against Lou Brown from Major League. It's the finals. And then Shally's going to announce our next bracket afterwards and put him on the spot because I want him to. So I'm waiting for this damn bracket. Like he's telling me it's a secret.
Jesus, it is. I mean, but
at this point, announce we're down to one bracket.
All right. I mean, I'll announce it when we're done, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, because me and Cottrell kind of came with another the other day, so I don't know which one I'm doing now. But I guess everybody's gonna be surprised, including myself.
We're gonna find out.
All right.
All right. So I don't. I'm just thrown. And
It's funny. This is probably I've known you for almost a year now. And
Yes.
this is probably the first time I've ever seen you
To see
speechless.
Gene speechless is it's like seeing a dinosaur.
I had it fully prepared on. Herman Boone versus Lou Brown tonight. Fully prepared. Fully prepared. Late surge. Put Eric Taylor in the lead, and we'll leave it at that. So
You're like the guy that wins the Oscar that has no speech prepared.
So this is the way we're going to do this round.
Okay.
Because I got the wrong one. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Then you're going to go second. And I'm going to put it on the Cleveland guy third.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that makes sense. That's I kind of have figured it was going to go.
Okay. So for the finals, I am going with Lou Brown.
Are you just picking out Spieth now?
No.
Oh my God.
So
there's no case you can make.
It's it's either a TV show thing, or it's a backup quarterback thing, or it's I'm this cheesy father thing,
Now being
or
good,
it's a heart attack.
Now being a good father's cheesy.
Listen, Lou Brown for the comedic relief, Lou Brown for the fact that I didn't win last round, Lou Brown for the fact that it was more entertaining to me than 10 episodes of Friday Night Lights, which, by the way, has been shitty to me. I'm sorry. You guys love this show. Boo. This show, listen, boo it all you want. Here's the truth. I've watched 10 episodes now of this show, and I forcefully watched them for this damn show. And it just reminds me of just, I can't, I got to watch what I say on the air because I'm going to get really, but it's really cheesy. I can predict what's going to happen. It's so, I feel like I'm watching a soap opera with football in it. It's, to me, so far, it's terrible. Now, I promised I'd give it a full season. So I will get through 23 episodes of it, and by then, maybe I'll want to watch season 2. But I don't like the show that much, and I'm being honest. And I might be the only person in America that doesn't like the show, but I don't like it. And I guarantee all 35 people that voted for the show didn't watch it either. However, I'm going Lou Brown because the movies made me laugh. They were funnier, and I enjoyed them.
All 30 people didn't watch Remember the Titans either.
Facts.
I guarantee that. I guarantee you're wrong. Guarantee you're wrong.
I guarantee I'm not.
You guys can
Shally,
argue about
give me yours.
Well, I mean, I'll give you this. I feel like the real championship was probably this round. I feel like Eric Taylor versus Herman Boone was probably the best matchup we could have gotten out of the whole bracket. I think
We got screwed by the committee.
that we did. Guy who makes the bracket an idiot.
No argument there.
But it was. I mean, listen, it was close. I mean, I think as of like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock today, it was still tied. And
Herman Boone was up 3 votes at 2 o'clock, bro.
I don't think it was that late, but
Coach Taylor was up all week until Gene shared it.
So Gene, what?
Shared the post.
I shared it 15 times.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you should share it more often.
And then I shared it today, and then what happened? Coach Taylor got up.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I told myself I wasn't going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this. Eric Taylor won the vote. I'm going to leave it there. Do not make me go any further into this because
we can.
Don't.
I'm
You
wearing
don't
the
want me
Heat
to.
jersey. It
You
can get hot.
You
It can
don't
get
want
hot.
me to go further in this.
so I do think this is a little anticlimactic because in Gene's defense, I think Herman Boone was. I think that should have been the championship. It's kind of like when you get like Final Four game, you're like whoever wins this game is going to crush the other team on the other side. I'm not saying Lou Brown's going to get crushed, but he just doesn't have the resume to hold up to Eric Taylor. I think Herman Boone was the one guy that can knock him off. I did find another interesting fact though that he got like way too much praise for, but I mean we'll leave that for
Who?
So in real life, Bertier.
Who cares about real life? This is the fictional bracket.
Right.
That's such bullshit. It's
Why
Remember
is
the
it bullshit?
Titans. I'm not
He's-
talking
he-
about Herman
he-
Boone
he's-
as a career coach.
I know that's right. He's a real coach.
I don't care about
In the
that.
fictional coaches bracket.
Remember the Titans wasn't a real movie.
He is the one real coach in the
It was
31
not- it's-
fake coaches bracket.
It's the one TV
he
soap
is the
opera
one real
bullshit.
coach. One
Guys,
real coach.
Guys, stop it.
One real coach.
Anyway, all right. So
One TV show.
you two are worse than me. So for me, it's going to be Eric Taylor. He won. As much as I love Lou Brown, as much as I love that movie, it is a top. I've said it before. It is a top 5 baseball movie of all time for me, and that's putting it over a lot of really, really great baseball movies. It's a lovable story. It's a feel good story. But it just he didn't. Oh, right. But he just didn't win enough for me. So I will.
I knew where you were going. Hold on. I knew where you were going.
I know.
And I knew where I was going.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the Cleveland boy pick against his own team.
No, I 100%. I knew that's why you were going to do it that way. So I will confidently pick Eric Taylor.
Confidently. Scott, tell us about how your boyhood movie was just, it's going to lose. God, tell me. Tell me about how your hometown team's going to lose.
This is tough. I said it. I feel like I said it a couple weeks ago. Lou Brown and, Major League just in general, probably one of my top three to five sports movies ever for obvious reasons. I mean, it was a great movie, but with it being tied to Cleveland, of course, it got some extra love for me. But I got to go with Eric Taylor in this one. He won no matter the circumstance,
Cleveland fans at home,
no matter what school he was at. He won backup quarterback, no money funded to him, athletic director. He made everything happen for him. I'm going with Eric Taylor on this one.
Of course he made everything happen to him. He had 76 episodes to make it happen.
I mean, if you keep watching, you'll see the adversity that he went through. But, it's all right. You don't see everything with clear eyes right now. We see it with clear eyes and a full heart.
Full hearts. And we didn't lose.
Eric Taylor just could not lose this one. Now, granted, I will say he did have an advantage having all these episodes and being a TV show. But
facts.
I can't.
Thank you. That's fine. Eric Taylor
No,
wins.
I agree.
Eric Taylor wins.
I'm with you on that.
Put a fucking asterisk next to it.
I'm with you on that.
Put an asterisk next to it.
I'm with you on it. I'm going to finish my point before we move on.
All right, good.
All right. So Eric Taylor had the advantage, but at the end of the day, if he's in the bracket, I have to treat him like how I treat everybody else in the bracket, and he was the best coach in the bracket. If you want to argue that he shouldn't have been in the bracket, I'm all ears, but he was, and he's the most accomplished one in the bracket.
So that brings up a great point, because I talked about this with somebody today, because he knew this argument was coming. So if you want to argue he shouldn't have been in because of how many episodes he had, again, that's a different discussion for a different day, but a valid argument. Herman Boone shouldn't have been in it because he was real. He's a real person. So if you take those two out, who's your top coach?
Lou Brown.
It's not Lou Brown. It's Norman Dale for me, but
see, I think Norman. I kind of agree with him. I think Norman Dale definitely gets there.
It's Norman Dale for me. If you take those two out, who's the best? I voted for Norman Dale over Lou Brown. I actually gave you my rankings, which I had Eric Taylor ranked 5th when we did the 1 through 5. But keep in mind, I've only watched him 10 episodes. I get it. Maybe it's episode 76. I'll get there with you guys. But I can't sit here and say 2 movies, 76 episodes. One movie.
We didn't say. We never said it was equal. But,
not equal.
But they're both in the bracket.
But see, that's part of it.
It's like the Dream Team versus Angola.
Okay, but guess what though? They're in the tournament. They play each other. They don't say, "Hey, USA, you guys got a lot of talent. You can't play with Jordan or Pippen or."
I just feel like
you can't play with these guys.
I feel like if you really like if there was a movie about Herman Boone's career, his full career, it'd be a different story. But it's just one season where he went undefeated and dominated.
Are we including the part where he got fired for beating kids?
That's not in the movie.
You said you include his whole life. That's what I'm asking.
That. You did say
that. Are we just going to put that up in writing, at the credits, and nobody pays attention to it?
Sometimes you got to beat a kid, bro. I don't know,
bro. Okay, Adrian Peterson, Tyreek Hill. You're right.
Get that switch out there.
You're right.
And it's funny that he says that because he was so off Gordon Bombay for cheating.
His team quit on him
for cheating.
Herman Boone was
which one's worse, beating a kid or cheating?
Cheating.
Oh.
Herman Boone was so good of a coach, he could beat the shit out of his players, and they still showed up.
So you're saying
that's how good of a coach he was.
You're saying taking dives is worse than beating a child?
Giving them dives.
You're gonna get canceled this week.
No, he's canceled.
This is gonna be a 2-man show next week.
Have fun.
Jamie's gonna be our new co-host next week. Bring NASCAR into the show. I'll be pumped.
So Eric Taylor's the winner. Give me the next bracket, Bill.
All right, so I think we're going to go with what me and you discussed.
Oh, you dork.
You don't even know the other one anyway.
I wanted to know the other one. The one you talked about for 3 weeks.
This one's just as good.
Okay.
This one's going to be a full 64 though, so this is going to be like a battle. We are going to do top sports venue of all time.
I love that.
And that's across any sport. So you're going to have NFL,
Joe Louis Arena,
NFL,
Lambeau Field.
Correct.
Yeah,
NFL, college football, racetracks, tennis spots,
God. Can we
golf
please not have
courses.
racetracks on this damn show?
Dude, listen. There's just going to be like 2 probably. I don't have to make the top 64. One of them will though.
Talladega,
Daytona for sure will.
Daytona definitely
Has
will.
to.
It's gonna be great though. You're gonna have to weigh a lot of things to see who goes on. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of discussion.
We got to be quick though. 64 is a lot.
You got you're talking about cutting like.
I get it.
We're just gonna have to
cut NASCAR.
No.
I don't even like NASCAR, but gotta have it in there.
NASCAR, tennis, you're gonna have everything. It's gonna be
Arthur
great.
Ashe.
Arthur Ashe in Wimbledon for sure. You ever been to Arthur Ashe?
Yes, I actually played at Arthur Ashe. Swear to God.
You played him?
I played at Arthur Ashe.
The stadium?
Yes.
Like the big one?
Yes.
When?
When I was in NJTL. I won my bracket and we played at Arthur Ashe before the tournament.
Oh.
I was 13. Mom can verify. Mom, chime in right now. You took me there.
I'm not saying
I went against William Whitaker IV. Look it up. Not kidding.
Did you win or lose?
I lost.
All right.
Straight sets. He had a way better serve than First of all, I shouldn't have been there. They had a seating. I'm just not kidding with you. They had a seat. I got hot one day, and they had like an internal, like you would go against your like region. And I was seated so low, and I got hot one day, and I beat 3 guys in a row. I shouldn't have beat. 2 of them I definitely shouldn't have beat. One of them would have been close. I beat 3 guys I shouldn't have beat, and I got there. And then I got there, and I got whooped. Honestly, my biggest chance was he kept double faulting. I swear to God, he kept double faulting. Like, I had a couple chances to break him, but, like, I had no chance. He was way better than me. Just being clear.
Humble pie.
Never.
I'm not going to lie about it. I was a good tennis player at 13. I wasn't as fat as I am.
I never knew Gene played tennis.
He does the obscure sports that you watch now.
Bro, I'm nationally ranked in air hockey. I was, at least. Not anymore. I haven't played in 15.
What?
I swear to God. Google it. Gene Walzak, air hockey. Anybody at home, Google it and put it up. I swear to God. That's not a joke. I was national junior champion of the world.
How is there national air hockey?
Yeah, there's national everything.
Google it. He's got it right now. I guarantee. I'm not going to play with you. Make somebody play me in air hockey. And this is the fun thing for anybody home. You want to play me in air hockey?
Can you beat Ronda Rousey in air hockey?
I beat Ronda Rousey in almost anything
except the fight.
Except a race. She beat me in a race.
She definitely beat me in a race.
Gene Walzak was 66th.
I ranked 66 in the tournament, but my highest rank was number 28. I won a challenge match.
Didn't you just say you were 1?
No, I was number 1 for junior, under 18 years old. That was 66 in the world out of all adults when I was 17. Thank you, though. What's up?
2001.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
66.
I was 16 years old. It's not a joke. See, Gene doesn't lie.
Say 1?
What?
What?
No, 1 under 18.
Well, look up his junior then. I want to see.
I was national junior champion of the world, highest ranked junior in the entire world.
How has this never come up before?
I don't know. Play me in air hockey. You'll see.
Let's go.
Okay,
we got an air hockey table here.
Listen, I'm not kidding with you. If either one of you guys get 3 goals against me in a game to 7, I will be floored.
Ooh.
Like I'm going to accidentally score on myself once. I do it all the time.
I do that every game too.
But I will not. You will not score on me.
I look like the stupid cat chasing the laser pointer. Eventually, my eyes just get out of
Oh,
whack.
he got it up. Oh,
66.
Jesus. Yeah, well, I got to 28 at one time. If you click my name, you'll say, hold on.
So wait, did you travel to play this? This show is going completely off the rails.
Click my name, and it'll tell you. Click the name, the link. I don't care if it's going off the rails.
Like, where did you
Audio
play?
just said that, by the way.
Where did you play?
Houston, Texas.
You went to Houston to play air hockey?
I swear to God.
Oh, my God.
Not kidding you. I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
It's got my challenge match where I was the highest ranked I was. Hold on. It's not a joke.
This is insane.
This is my old email address at yahoo.com. Played national tourney, 12-14. That's not accurate. Oh, that was the junior tournament.
2011?
Yeah, I didn't play in a lot of tournaments, obviously. They're 0-1, but I was 1 for 3 in challenge matches. I won my first challenge match to go to 28 in the world. I lost, went to 29th. Lost, went to 30th. Lost, went to 31st. They're obviously better than me. I wasn't 28th best player in the world, but I finished in 28th. Well, I
The more you know.
yeah, you don't need to do any of this. It's literally in state I was 4th. But all right, we got to move on. We got to move on because we got a lot of NBA talk and it's 9:30 already.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into venues. You learned a lot about me playing air hockey.
Mine is blown.
Anya, you don't want this smoke. You don't. Say, I definitely want to play. You don't want this smoke. Dave and Buster's presents Wire2Wire's Travis, line of the night. No typos next time. Okay. Let's go with, so I want to go with awards. We're going to go with awards first. Then we're going to do first team All-NBA. Not a chance, Travis. Ron Rousey's not knocking me out.
Yes, she is.
Awards, first team All-NBA, playoff predictions, and then finals predictions. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Always ready.
Are you ready for smoke?
Always ready.
All right. Audia said I don't want her smoke. Listen, if we're playing in golf, you're going to kick my ass. In air hockey, you're not going to score a goal.
Oh.
All right, so
There's the bet.
let's get into this. MVP. Start with the big one. I don't want to go any weird stuff. I want to go with who you think is going to win it, who you think should win it. Good, Charles, start.
I think who's going to win it is Nikola Jokic.
Yes.
And I think who should win it is Nikola Jokic. For me, it's very simple. What he's done on that team is incredible. At the center position, I mean, he's their true point guard essentially. Like, I understand Jamal Murray was there too, but Nikola Jokic is how that offense runs. And for him to be doing what he's doing with that team is incredible to me. And now the fact that they're still, a top 4 seed and they don't have Jamal Murray anymore, I think that speaks a lot of credit to what Nikola Jokic is doing for that team. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Gordon being there is a huge help for them, but Nikola is really putting that team in a great position, and we'll see how far I think they get in the playoffs. But for me, this regular season, Nikola Jokic should be the MVP.
Okay.
How good does that trade look now?
Which one?
Aaron Gordon. I mean, it looked great before, but how important is it now with Murray going down?
I actually think it looks worse.
Why?
I'll get into it. My point.
Well, I agree with Cottrell. I mean, I think the only
Both.
Yeah.
Should win. Could win.
I think the only argument you really have is Steph.
And that was my mid-season pick, Steph, too. So
Yep.
for me to come off of him is
I think what Steph did is amazing. And we'll see what he does tonight.
That doesn't make sense either. What he just said.
what?
That you came off it after it was your midseason prediction.
Yes.
Like, what did he do? He was way better in the second half of the season.
Oh man, you two are just gonna go.
He
bad
was,
tonight.
but at
So,
the
like,
time,
what made you come off of it?
when Nikola was already having the better half of the year. Nikola's been consistent.
you
I
ju-
thought
I-
Nikola
I-
would fall off.
Okay. You
but
were
he's been
predicting a fall off.
consistent to go through, and Steph has obviously transcended. But for Nikola to keep pace with what the Nuggets were doing, obviously they fell a couple seeds, but for him to still be a top 4 seed without their other, their second piece in Jamal Murray is impressive.
Okay, so I'm gonna get in that point. You have Nicole for both, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I love Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is gonna win MVP. I think he should be second or third. That's fair. I think Steph should win MVP, and I was against that when he said it, like 15 shows ago. He's played absurd to get them in the spot they're in right now. Absurd. Like, he won the scoring title. Everyone knows he's going to shoot. He went on like a 40-point streak. He's broken every 3-point record ever. Dude, it's insane. There's been 6 times a player has hit over 10 threes in a game. He's done it 4 times this year. It's absolutely insane what that guy's doing, putting a team on his back. Nikola Jokic, you said Jamal Murray's down, right?
Yes.
Michael Porter has evolved so much in that offense that Michael Porter, you could argue, is the second most valuable player on that team.
It wouldn't be a good argument, but
Going forward, I'd rather have Michael Porter Jr. than Jamal Murray.
Before
Going
injury?
forward. No, right now.
but what about before injury?
Okay, before injury.
You take Michael Porter?
Yes,
I love
not-
Michael Porter. Don't make me argue
the way-
against him. I
the
don't want to
way
argue
he's
against you.
evolved over the last.
I think Michael Porter can be a superstar, so I'm
Correct.
on board with
Jamal
you.
Murray is a superstar. I get it.
Jamal Murray was better this year than he was last year, though. I mean,
That's fair.
he's still getting better.
Do you think Jamal Murray would? All right, so next year, even given the injury, who would you take?
Well,
Going forward for the rest of their career.
I mean, next year you're
No,
probably
not
gonna,
next year. Going forward, rest of their career. You take Michael Porter. You would too. And add an Aaron Gordon to that team. Add Aaron Gordon to that team. It's not like they like. So Michael Porter's like evolving. Jesus Christ, I need to work on my English. Evolving.
There you go.
And Aaron Gordon traded to the team. I don't think them dropping 2 seeds makes you feel like Jokic is just slam dunk MVP. My pick is Steph Curry for that. Now everybody's got their opinion. My opinion could be wrong. Obviously, it's going to be wrong because I think Jokic is going to win the award.
Yeah, I think he's going to run away with it, actually.
I agree. Although
I do agree with you. I think it should be a lot closer than people think it's going to be.
I agree with that, too.
Okay. Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you think's going to get it, and who do you think should get it?
I think Rudy Gobert is going to get it. I think Ben Simmons deserves it. I just feel like we've made this point so many times on the show. Ben can stick 1 through 4. His defense this year alone has evolved from what it was. Like, he's always been a great defender, but this year he's just taking it up to the next level. And I understand Rudy Gobert is all his defensive metrics and his defensive stats are incredible, but you're only guarding centers. And I said this point 6 weeks ago when we brought it up. Ben Simmons gave him 42. Joel gave him 41 nights. So I understand that, centers aren't as dominant right now. And, there aren't really that many elite centers. But when you are going up against the elite guys and they're giving you 40 points every time they go out there, why wouldn't I give it to the guy who's sticking the 1 through 4, shutting down the team's best player night in and night out?
I have stats to add to that. Can I go second?
I'll let you go last because you're probably I don't have the numbers. You're probably going to have a lot of the numbers I'm going to talk about. So I'll let you go last to really hammer it home. Because I'm assuming you think the same thing.
Exact same thing.
So do I. So your point about elite centers is 100% true. How many elite centers are in the NBA? You probably count them on one hand.
There's 4.
You go Rudy, JoJo, Joker. Who's your 4th?
Cat. Even though I don't like him.
It's fair.
It is fair because he's had a really good year. I'll give you that. I mean, he's finally kind of been what everybody thought he was going to be.
And then Bam's close if you want to add like him as a center, but I don't look at him as a center.
I would say, where are you putting Bam and like AD?
He starts as a center. AD is a power forward.
Okay, so they're kind of like hybrids.
And then
so
Drummond is a hybrid center.
Okay,
that's not elite.
All right, that's fair. I don't disagree with any of that. Listen. This is what you have to do. Look at all the times, all the games that when the Sixers have played teams with elite guys. I'm talking about Luka, Steph, guys like that. Guys that look at their splits when Ben Simmons is guarding them versus when they're not. It is tragic that he is not going to win this award this year. And I emphasize the word tragic. He should win this award running away, and they're going to give it to Rudy because of blocks and rebounds. Guess what? When you're 7'2", and there's only 4 or 5 other guys in the league that are that tall.
And you don't have an offensive game, so that's the only way you're going to stay on the floor.
You literally sit in the lane. You should get 15 rebounds every game. You should get them by accident.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of hearing a center gets 15 rebounds a game, so we're going to give him Defensive Player of the Year award. That's shit.
Agreed.
But go ahead. Hammer it
so
home.
Statistically, let me just – the worst position by far on the basketball court offensively is –
center.
It's not close.
It's not close.
All right. So just statistically, did you know that the center is averaging 11 less points per game than any other position on the court?
Doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all.
Okay. So that's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is when he goes up against somebody. Utah had this smart-ass idea. They're like, I'm going to have Rudy stick Ben Simmons. We're gonna show how. And Ben Simmons dropped more points. Like, was it career high? 42 points?
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd. JoJo goes against him. Dominant center, drops 40 on him. Not only did he drop 40, he had 17 boards.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA needs to catch up. They're so far behind right now in their defensive metrics because they're counting blocks and defensive rebounds as way more than they should. There's so many metrics that are out there to guard, like defense, like shooting shooting percentage when a player is guarding you.
Yep.
Pass off percentage when you have to pass off player to get double teamed. Mm-hmm. There's so many metrics out there defensively. For them not to catch up with that, and for sports writers to write in Rudy Gobert and that make that the defensive player of the year, it's travesty.
Dude,
it's not close, actually. I think JoJo's second.
I read an article where the guy literally argued that Rudy's lane control should be a reason he wins that defensive player of the year. I'm not kidding. that's where they're at to try to like get him to go over, like to push him over to win. Lane control?
Yeah. Do you remember when Denver was on a little bit of a slide and Utah was on a huge winning streak, and then Utah went into Denver and got embarrassed? It was a Sunday afternoon game. It was a Sunday afternoon game. Utah won. I bet on him, which I remember it. Nikola Jokic absolutely just befuddled that man.
He's good for like the 6 feet.
That's a good word.
6 feet around the rim. He's useless outside of there.
I think this is the word. I can't believe it's like a runaway too. They make it like this is not even close. I hate the odds on the awards because it's making you just not even be interested in it.
You can't make any money betting on them.
No.
Like I think Ben's like plus 2,000 to win. That's where it was the other day. It's insane. Rudy Gobert's like minus 12,000, something crazy like that.
The next three to me are super easy. I will argue to the teeth if you want to argue against any of them.
I think there's only one you could even.
Yes, I agree.
There's one you can make an argument.
6 man a year.
Actually, this one has gotten closer. It's still who I think you're going to say it is, but it's gotten closer and it's actually one of his teammates that's gotten closer.
All right, start off this time, Bill.
It's Jordan Clarkson, and Jordan Clarkson should win it. I think Joe Ingles has kind of played his way into the discussion with Conley and Donovan Mitchell being hurt, and he is kind of more of a Jordan Clarkson's more of a scorer, but Ingles is kind of more. I mean, he stepped in and played point guard for the last, for a better part of a month of the season when they were both hurt. Played really well, but it's going to be Jordan Clarkson. I mean, he's become a totally different player this year. I mean, I think he's averaging almost 20 points off the bench. So
shout out to Quinn Snyder.
Yep.
Go ahead, Shaw.
It's Jordan Clarkson for me too, and I think Jordan Clarkson should win it. This has actually been Jordan Clarkson's award, I feel like, since the 4th week of the season. Like, he's been just great
since January.
all year long. So
well, that would be the 4th week of the season.
Jordan Clarkson has been Jordan Clarkson has been the runaway 6th man of the year for me. So
run away.
That's all I got.
Tune in my hear my singing.
I try not to.
Run away.
Agreed.
It's Jordan Clarkson. Let's not argue that. Next one, rookie of the year. This is the arguable one, but I don't think it's really an argument. You want to start?
Yeah. I think that LaMelo Ball should win it, and I think that if you want to do it, I think you should give it co-rookie of the years this year. Just go ahead and do it. Give it to Anthony Edwards and give it to LaMelo Ball.
You yell at me for being on the fence. That's the most fence answer ever.
There's been a Jason Kidd and Grant Hill got co-rookie of the years. Why not do it this year? LaMelo Ball missed some games. Anthony Edwards has been playing out of his mind as of late. I wouldn't be mad at them giving it to both of them, but my pick would be LaMelo Ball.
I know I'll let you go last on this. I think LaMelo Ball's still going to win. I think overall, if you look at a body of work, even though he did miss games, I still think he should win. I do agree with you. I think it's super close. I wouldn't be mad either if they gave it to both of them. But Anthony Edwards has improved big time since the beginning of the year. I was ready to break down all these awards, and if you look at his advanced stats and what's happened in the last 2 months of the season, once Cat came back and they've actually had their team, and that he wasn't taking crazy shots and so forth and so on, you could make a strong argument. He's been very good, very, very good down the stretch for them. I think LaMelo Ball is the better player, but again, it's what you do in your rookie year. I mean, you only have one chance to win this award. So I think LaMelo's going to win it. I wouldn't be mad if they tied. I wouldn't be horribly upset if they gave it to Edwards either. But I think LaMelo's going to win.
Okay, so Anthony Edwards has looked really good the last month and a half of the season. They have 23 wins in the season. I'm sorry. I know it's not a wins statistic. I understand that. They have 23 wins in the season. They have Karl Anthony Towns. They had D'Lo. They have too good of a team to have 23 wins if he's that good. LaMelo Ball's a way better player. He's a better passer, better rebounder, and I think he's a more efficient scorer, which has been a huge knock on him coming into the league, but he's been super efficient. Not to mention he projects to be a way better player too. I think that even though it's just a Rookie of the Year award, I think LaMelo Ball runs away with this one. I don't think it's that close.
I don't disagree with anything you said, but the projections and all that stuff don't factor into this at all.
I agree with that. That's I know it doesn't, but like when you're looking at it and you're saying,
like if you're asking me who I want in 3 years, I mean the answer is LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
But again, you have one chance to win it.
The other thing too is that Anthony Edwards had to go through a coaching change in the middle of the season. He had a coach that wasn't really playing him, and now that he has more playing time, he's playing better. So I don't think it's absolutely fair to judge his whole. Obviously, you have to judge his whole season, but we see what he's doing under this interim coach, and now that everyone's healthy, and I think that's what we have to look at, especially considering that he's doing all that while LaMelo Ball was out.
Yeah,
it's fair. I think LaMelo Ball is the winner.
I mean, odds-wise, I think that's the closest one.
And yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It was for the longest time. It was Halliburton, but now it's
he dropped off. He got hurt and
completely.
Then didn't play well.
All right, so I'll start with the last one. Most improved player, Julius Randle, should be and will be. Julius Randle. Julius Randle has taken the Knicks to the 4 seed in the East. I know it's just the East, but still the 4 seed. They are projected to win 22 games this year.
Yeah.
That's what he did over there in New York, and he's very, very, very limited in help as far as offensively. Now they're a very good defensive team. Obi Toppin's played good defense. RJ Barrett's played good defense.
I think they're third overall. Yep. Third overall in adjusted defense. They're a very good defensive team. I was kind of shocked that that Monty Williams won the Coach of the Year so easily because, again, as good as Julius Randle's been, Thibodeau being there has been huge for them. He's got all those young kids playing together on the same page, playing both ends of the court. And again, I mean, you take a team that was only supposed to win 22 games, and now they're the 4 seed. That says something. I mean, it's
100% says something.
And I can't. I was shocked. I mean, Imani definitely had the better roster, like not even close. So
Tibbs, very, very good season for him.
I thought Tibbs was going to win Coach of the Year. I was a little shocked by that.
That wasn't the actual NBA Coach of the Year though.
Yeah, but the odds are telling you who's going to win it.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, all right. So we go Coach of the Year. Could
Julius Randle for me too.
Yeah, what are we arguing? This is not.
I just had to say it.
Yeah,
though.
I get it. It's like ice cream. It's good. I'm kidding. Do you want to do Coach of the Year?
We can. I mean, I just kind of made my point. So
it should be Monty Williams. You think it? No. It's going to be Monty Williams. You think it should be Tom Thibodeau?
Correct.
Okay, what do you think? I'm
throwing
throwing you on the spot. We didn't.
I think that Coach of the Year will be Monty Williams. I think it should be Thibodeau.
I think Coach of the Year will be Monty Williams. I think it should be Quinn Snyder. He's still got the 1 seed in the West, losing Donovan Mitchell.
I also want to make a point.
What are we talking about?
I said Tibbs and Monty Williams midseason, and you guys did not take.
I didn't
me
argue
serious.
with Monty Williams.
You did.
I didn't.
You did.
I had Monty Williams third.
You said what you said. You had Monty Williams fourth. Actually, I listened back to it today. What you said was Chris Paul is the real coach of that team, and all this other nonsense.
That's fair.
Couldn't go this whole show without Chris Paul.
Well, we're getting Chris Paul in a minute. We're doing first team All NBA. First team All NBA. Go ahead. Chalk, give me yours.
He shouldn't
what
be
it,
on
what it should be and what it will be.
No, just give me your first team All NBA.
All right. So I guess I'll put my little caveat in there.
Oh, jeez. Go ahead.
So my team would be Dame, Steph, Giannis, Joel, and Joker. My caveat.
I hate when we have the same team.
My caveat would be if they don't classify Joel as a forward or they don't want to put 2 centers, I think they should fill that forward spot with Julius Randle.
If you're going to fill the forward spot, you got to fill it with Luka, not Julius Randle.
I think they should fill it with Julius Randle.
Okay. When is this a guy you were just arguing should have made the All-Star game? God.
I agree with your 5, and I think that's what I think they should move. I think they should move Joker to 4 actually, and let Joe play center. I mean, you have 2 of the top 3 MVP candidates in the league. They both had great years.
Yep.
There's only 1 center versus there's 2 forwards, there's 2 guards for every team, and I don't think you can make you can't make an argument that Luka or Julius Randle or anybody for that instance should be on the first team over Joel or Joker. So I will do the same thing.
I have the same 5. You guys are weird. I have the same exact 5, and I have Joel at my center, and I have Joker at my 4.
Yeah.
Because just because Joker's a better passer and he plays more of a point forward type. I know he's a center, but he plays more of a point center. So I'm going with Joker at the 4, I guess, forward position. But there was an argument earlier in the week, and who was it, Hollinger had his list where he had Chris Paul as his second guard.
Yes.
Okay, so you said that there's not a chance in hell that you can make an argument for Chris Paul over Dame Lillard. Correct?
Round 4.
Why not?
Fight.
Why not? So I'm going to make an argument for it.
Okay.
For sure.
So
Wait. Why are you going to make an argument for him if you pick Dame?
I have Dame, but you said it was not close.
If you picked him, why would you make an argument for him?
I'll make it brief. I'll make it quick. I think it's Dame, but I don't think it's as wild as you think it is.
If you think it's Dame, and I think it's Dame, and Bill thinks it's Dame, and they think it's Dame, and they think it's Dame,
Why are we talking
who
about
cares
this?
about the margin? All right, I want to hear your argument, though. I want to hear it.
So I look at that Suns team, and I look at the pieces that came back from last year to this year, and I look at where they went to where they are now, and I look at that Blazers team, and I look at the Blazers with the pieces they had last year and the pieces they have this year, and where they're at then and where they're at now. The Blazers went from the 8 to the 6. The Suns went from the 9, essentially, because they went undefeated in the bubble. They were the 10 walking into the bubble, to the 2.
Okay.
There's only one variable difference. His name is Chris Paul. Chris Paul has such an effect on other people that it's silly. Chris Paul's a better defender, which never gets brought up in all defensive teams. Chris Paul just had a comment the other day where he said, I'm better than Steph. The only thing he does better than me is shoot. That might be older. I don't know. But I just seen it recently. I think it's hilarious. But I don't think that's accurate. But my point is, I mean, what he said is accurate, but Steph shoots so much better than him that it makes the gap widen. But Chris Paul did so much for that team. And, you know, he didn't win an award, and he's not going to win an award for first team All-NBA. Not going to win MVP, even though he's got a higher MVP odds than Dame Lillard does. Because we're not going to put him on the All-NBA team, but he's got higher MVP odds than the guy that's on there. And he basically won a guy coach of the year. Monty Williams is a very good coach. He had that team moving in the right direction. Chris Paul just was the very, very, very tasty icing that got put on top of that to make that ice cream taste so much better. Made Devin Booker better, made DeAndre Ayton better, made Mikal Bridges better, Jay Crowder. Like, dude, that entire team, he makes them better. He made Monty Williams better coach. Chris Paul has higher MVP odds, yet he's not on your first team All-NBA. And he's not on mine either, but it's just by that much. You guys just not even going to argue back?
There's no point.
I love it.
There's literally no
I
point.
love it.
I will get into my breakdown of that once we go through these series.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Phoenix would make the playoffs without Chris Paul.
Yeah, they'd be the 7 or 8 seed.
Portland would win 20 games without Dame.
Okay. But see, the difference between the 6 seed and 23 games, like the Minnesota Timberwolves win, is less than the difference between the 2nd seed and the 8 seed.
Making the playoffs is making the playoffs, though.
I get it. All right, let's get into our series because Chris Paul is really close to being first team All-NBA. And he'll definitely be second team All-NBA at 36 years old. Just a hair under a 50, 40, 90 season.
It's going to be...
You know who was 50, 40, 90?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let me know.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I know he was.
This year.
Crazy Kyrie. Now he doesn't care about basketball. He cares about what's going on in Ecuador.
I'm not getting into Kyrie stuff. I'm just not.
So
He's
I want to
absolute
start.
freaking lunatic.
I want to start with the series that we already know.
Okay.
So I'm going to start 3-6, then 4-5 in both conferences.
Is that game over yet by any chance?
It's
got to be
Memphis
close.
is still winning, but very slightly.
Western Conference or Eastern Conference?
Let's start with the Eastern Conference and then go to West. We'll do 3-6, 4-5, both sides, and then we'll get into the play-in games into the 1-7 or 1-8, 2-7s. Okay? So we'll start 3-6 on the East. Miami Heat, the 6 seed, playing at the Milwaukee Bucks, the 3 seed. How do you see it? Who and how many games?
Who's going?
You.
I looked at you first.
Take
trigger. I'm just kidding.
I will go Bucks in 7. I think the difference between this year and last year is Jrue Holiday. I was a lot higher on that trade in the offseason that was one of the first things we talked about on the show, actually.
It was.
I was a lot higher on that trade than you guys were. And I think you've seen the dividends pay off. I think they're a better team this year than they were last year.
I disagree.
And I don't think the Miami team this isn't the same Miami team as last year. I think the team last year caught kind of lightning in a bottle in the bubble. They've been banged up all year. They're not going to be healthy at the start of this series. Tyler Hero's regressed. Duncan Robinson has regressed. I just don't think they're the same team. I think it's going to be a very good competitive series. I think it's going to be a battle of tempos. The Bucks want to get up and down the court. Miami likes to play a more of a half-court game. And again, I think both teams are going to win games. I think all the games will probably be close. I think the Bucks will pull it out at the end.
Okay, so you got Bucks in 7. Who you going with?
I am going with Heat in 6.
I have Heat in 6 too.
I was back and forth. We talked a little bit about it before the show. I was always leaning towards picking the Heat. I say Heat in 6 because for whatever reason, it seems like this Miami Heat team is Milwaukee's kryptonite. It just seems like Bam is the answer for Giannis. Obviously, you don't shut down Giannis. Giannis is still going to get his. But Bam is the closest thing to a Giannis stopper that what's of anybody that's probably in the NBA. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Miami Heat in this one.
So, Bill, to your point about Jrue Holiday, the Bucks are not better this year than they were last year. You might think they're better, like with eye test, and like maybe at their height they might be, but they were the 1 seed last year. They were a clear 1 seed last year. This year they're the 3 seed, and they're, I don't know, man. I don't think they've looked dominant all year. Any piece.
But the East is drastically better than it was last year.
Correct.
The 76ers have the same roster.
The Nets don't.
The Nets don't.
I get it. That's fair. But my point, all right, so
the Sixers don't have the same coach either. So like things changed in the East a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't think the Bucks got better.
That's fair, but it's not because
I'm going Heat in 6 too. I think you stole literally my biggest point was Bam being a Giannis slow downer. No, Giannis stopper. He's too good. I don't think they match up very well versus the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat play dog defense, and they get in that three-pointer's face. And what Milwaukee likes to do is Giannis drive and dish, hit open three-point shooters, and it's just not a – I almost think, and I could be wrong, but I almost think Miami tanked the last game at Milwaukee. They sat a bunch of starters for whatever reason. They sat a bunch of starters.
Well, they sat Jimmy because he was hurt, because he got the game before they got punched or elbowed in the eye or whatever it was. But some of those other guys just, again, like Dragic hasn't been healthy like all year. He's banged up. And then Tyler Hero missed time because of his foot. I mean, he's in battle. They're just, again, I think if they were 100%, I think it's an even closer series, and I would maybe even lean Miami's way. But they're just, I don't know.
So I get your point. I just think that Miami's got that dog in them. And in the playoffs, it favors the team that plays half-court offense because the game tends to slow down and they allow a lot more contact. And we've seen that in years with James Harden not getting the same calls he gets in the regular season in the playoffs. And Miami's definitely going to play more physical. Like, Milwaukee doesn't want that. They don't. And they come in, they've heard all year they're lambs in the postseason. So let's see them prove me wrong. I'm going Miami in 6.
Listen, I took them in 7, so, I mean, if I'm wrong on this, I mean, I'm not going to be shocked by any means. I don't think Milwaukee's blowing them out of the water.
Okay, next one we got is the Clippers versus let's stay in the East real quick. Let's do Knicks Hawks.
I'm going Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6. Okay.
Knicks in 6.
You said it because it rhymed.
Yep. This is tough because they're similar. You know, once Atlanta's new coach came in, they started playing better defense, started playing better on both ends of the court. Actually, they become more efficient. I still think, kind of to your point, physicality. New York is definitely the more physical team. Atlanta is very reliant upon jump shooters. They run kind of more of a finesse offense. Derrick Rose, kind of out of nowhere, started playing really well again. And again, I think some of that credit is to Thibodeau as well. He just likes playing for the guy. I think New York has enough to get it done. I think Julius Randle is going to continue his coming out party for the year. I think the Garden's going to be wild with him having playoff basketball back. And I will go with the Knicks. I just think they're a better team. I think it's going to suck kind of because they're kind of two teams you kind of want to root for, have big improvements this year, but one of them's going to go home in the first round. So I'll stick with the Knicks.
Going home in the second round too.
Well, obviously.
I'm kidding. What's yours?
So I'm going to go with Knicks in 5 in this one.
Ooh.
This is a series that I really have no anticipation for. I am not looking in I am not looking forward to this series at all for I don't know what reason. Obviously, it's nice to see the Knicks have a good basketball team again, but this series just doesn't excite me. I feel like the Knicks are really going to slow down this Atlanta Hawks team who likes to shoot the 3 ball. You know, Trae Young out there and a lot of their guys. Clint Capella is going to be tough to stop, but I think Mitchell Robinson is the perfect person to, go down there and bang with Clint Capella, get some tough rebounds, and with RJ Barrett and Obi. I just feel like this Knicks team this year is playing such great defense and such great team basketball with Tom Thibodeau. I just feel like they're going to steal a game in Atlanta and they're going to win 3 at home in the Garden.
So I've been really, really back and forth on this one, Knicks in 5 or Knicks in 7. And when Shawcross started talking, I switched it to 7 to 5. I don't think the Knicks are going to win the game in 6. I don't think they're going to close that game at Atlanta. That's the only reason I didn't pick that, because I follow you, and that's why I'm between 5 and 7. Every time I keep breaking down the series, I keep seeing the Knicks are a more physical team. The Knicks are going to play better defense, and that translates way better in the playoffs. I have the Knicks in 5. I don't want to take too much longer because we got a lot. So Knicks in 5 in a physical series in which they beat up the younger Atlanta Hawks. Next one, Clippers, Dallas Mavericks.
I have Clippers in 5. I don't think Dallas. I've watched Dallas enough and been disappointed enough. I think the Clippers definitely have something to prove. I think they're the better team on paper. Between Paul George and Kawhi, they'll slow down Luka enough that he's not gonna be able to go out and score 40 and steal a game. I just don't see it with those two. On the plus, you have Beverly. So I think the Clippers in 5. I think they're a better team. I don't think Dallas is good. I think Dallas went through that streak right after the All-Star break, kind of got them up in the high seeding. They benefited a ton from other teams getting hurt and falling down the standings like the Lakers and stuff like that. I don't think they're a good 5 seed. So I'm going Clippers, and I think they're going to handle them easily.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. After what I saw Luka do in the bubble last year, He got 2 games last year. I think he gets 2 games again this year. I got Clippers in 6. Luka is the kind of player that it seems like he has such a will to win, no matter the circumstance. Obviously, he couldn't get it done by himself, but he's just a player that ascends to the next level when he needs to. And on the Clippers side, they got Paul George, who doesn't like playing basketball in the playoffs for whatever reason. So we will see if he can actually make that jump this year. I wouldn't trust that, so I'm gonna have Paul George having 2 bad games and Luka willing the Mavs to 2 wins.
Okay, so last year we seen this same series. We seen Luka without Porzingis. We seen Luka will his team to win a couple games on a bum ankle. We see Marcus Morris take a dirty shot at him, which I thought was disgusting. I guess playoff basketball. I think that this series goes to 7. I think the Clippers win it in 7, barely. I think this is a really bad matchup for them, and we could talk about what Paul George or Kawhi Leonard or Pat Bev does. Luka's seen these guys and dropped a ton on them last year. And then having Porzingis is only going to make that a little bit tougher series for them. I think the Clippers are a tougher team. I think they eventually get it done, but I think it's done. I'll even go one further. I think the series is won off a missed three-pointer by Luka Doncic in Game 7, 107-105 Clippers. I think it's going to be a fall-away 3 he misses.
If that happens, you're buying my lottery ticket.
That's insane, right?
Right.
If that happens, that's wild. But I'm going to go Clippers in 7. Next one we have is the Nuggets, the 3 seed, versus the Blazers, the 6.
I'm going this time?
Sure.
Bill's been starting us off. All right. I mean, I will. So in this series, I got Blazers in 6. I feel like the Blazers are they're another team that I feel like plays well in the playoffs. They don't win the big games like when it comes like the Western Conference Finals or, against the 1 or 2 seeds. But they're a team that consistently plays hard in the playoffs. And this Nuggets team is a little bit underwhelmed with Jamal Murray being out. And with the Nuggets not having great guard play without Jamal Murray, I just feel like Dame and CJ are going to be tough to stop, and they're going to get business done.
I have the Nuggets in 7. Everything you just said, I think is going to play into it, but I also think they have no answer on the front court for what Joker, Gordon, and why can't I think
Michael
of
Porter.
Michael Porter are going to do. So I think it's going to be a great chess match because again, both teams have glaring deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball. So as good as Jamal Murray is, and I love him, they were 11-3 after he got hurt. And 2 of those losses were back-to-backs on and then away. They actually played very well down the stretch without him. I don't know how well that's going to translate. Obviously, anytime you're going up against Dame in the playoffs, he has the flair for the dramatic. He has the flair of, when, like you said, when they need a game, he goes out and drops 40. I mean, he's that guy. He's that clutch guy. He's the go-to guy. I'm a huge Dame fan. That's why I think it's going 7. I think Denver pulls out a very close game at home in Game 7 to win the series.
Got Blazers in 6, just like Cottrell does. The only thing I think you left out is I think the defensive efficiency problems that the Blazers have are only at the guard position. Rocco, very good defender. Norman Powell, very good defender. I think they're very good answers for the front court of the Nuggets, and I think that Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum are going to have a field day against Denver's front court or backcourt. I have Blazers in 6. I think they lose Game 5 up 3-1, and then they come back home and win it 4-2. So now we get into the bubble games, or not the bubble games, the play-in games.
It looks like the Grizzlies are going to win. They're up 3 with 8 seconds to go.
And then they just got fouled and made 1 free throw. I think it's 196. Am I right?
It hasn't updated yet, but
Okay.
I don't know what site you're on, so it could be wrong.
So Grizzlies are going to be not in the playoffs anyway, because I think the Lakers are going to beat the Golden State Warriors tonight. I think the
Warriors beat whoever.
Warriors beat Memphis.
I think we agree on that. So should we play it out like that?
Play it out like that.
Okay, perfect.
So let's start with the 1-8, Utah versus Golden State.
I think that's going to be the best 5-game series we've ever seen.
I agree.
The Warriors just don't have enough manpower.
No.
If they had one other person who I could see them consistently relying on, maybe if James Wiseman was still healthy, maybe I'd try and give them a few more games, but this team as is, they have it rolling right now. I don't see the Warriors getting more than 1 game in this one.
I'll be quick. I agree completely. They're going to get Mike. They're another team that had injuries and still won down the stretch. They're going to get Mike Conley back. They're going to get Donovan Mitchell back. They're going to play in Utah, which is a tough place to play. They have their fans there. I do think Golden State will steal one at home. That team, especially Steph, plays too well at home in front of those fans. They'll get into it. I think they'll steal one at home. They'll close it back out in Utah for Game 5. Utah just has too many guys who can score. I do agree. I think it's going to be exciting as hell to watch. If you want to stay up and watch exciting basketball, watch that series.
I watch every playoff game.
I watch a bunch of it
Everyone.
between that and NHL. So it's
me and Kevin David the Troll.
Yeah,
we watch every NBA playoff game.
That's awesome. But like I said, it's going to be a bunch of dribbling over half court, and somebody's going to chuck it up. And if it goes in, it goes in. If not, the other team's going to rebound it, dribble back over half court, and they're going to chuck it up. That's what both teams do.
I just think Utah has a lot more people that can chuck it up.
Agree. I mean,
That's the issue.
I don't think Steph's going to have any issue getting off in that series. But, we were just talking about Jordan Clarkson has the ability to come off the bench, score 35.
Yep.
I mean, it's just too much.
Steph comes off the court, they're minus 100.
Yeah, so
in the series.
Utah's just too good, too well-rounded, way too many scores, just too much for Golden State. That'll be the end of the great year for Steph and company.
Got Utah in 5 also. Lakers versus Suns, 7-2.
Grizzlies just won.
Yep, 100-96, right?
Yes, sir.
About man.
Boom.
Shall I start this one? Because I know where Control's going.
All right, where are we going?
Suns, Lakers, 2-7.
This is the one that I've gone back and forth on 19 times today. I want to take Phoenix. This really does boil down. It's tough to say because I really don't know how healthy LeBron and AD are. I know they're healthy enough to play. I know they're going to play, but they're not going to sit out. If they're 100%, I think the Lakers upset them. I don't know. Do the Lakers? I think the game goes 7. I think the series goes 7 games. Do the Lakers go into Phoenix and win Game 7? I think that's what it boils down to for me. I'm going to go Lakers in 7. I think they have enough to get it done.
I want you to go.
Oh, I know where this is going.
I got the Lakers in 6. I think the Lakers are a better team. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Andre Drummond, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Kuzma. It's just a better lineup. It's a better overall 5. Going into the season, I predicted the Lakers to be the 2 or 3 seed. Remember I said someone was going to knock them off. It was going to be a weird team, try-hard team. I said probably would be Dallas. I was wrong about that. Utah was that team. But I just don't think that you're looking at the 2nd and 7th best team in the West. I think you're looking at the 2nd and 3rd best team in the West. And I think that the Lakers are going to win the series. I think they'll win it in 6. I think that the problem is Ayton's going to get bullied. He is going to get bullied in the paint. I think that if you look at DeAndre Ayton's stats, whenever he goes against a strong push-around center, he gets bullied. He's very touchy-feely. He's not a very strong guy. He's very big, but he's not as strong as he doesn't play as strong as he looks. I'm going Lakers in 6.
So for me, this series was relatively easy. I know injuries are going to play a part, but I think Anthony Davis and LeBron James are both going to play through whatever pain that they're feeling. Obviously, there's no doubt that they're going to play, but I don't think we'll see a big change in how we normally see them play, like the level that we see them play at, just because it's the playoffs now and these guys know what they have to do. With that said, I think that Suns team that's in front of them it's a good team. Like they had a great season, but I think it ends after this round. LeBron's never lost in the first round of the playoffs. Chris Paul has lost a lot of games and lost a lot of times in the first round of the playoffs.
Chris Paul's going to be on the show in a couple weeks.
When it comes to LeBron James and Chris Paul, not even just Chris Paul. When it comes to LeBron James and the Lakers, a lot of these guys were in the bubble last year. They were there for that championship run. This Suns team, a lot of these guys, it's their first time ever even seeing the playoffs. Like they played the playing games, but like this is going to be in front of their hometown. They have to travel to LA and face the Lakers in actual playoff games.
Yep.
It's going to be different for them, and I feel like some of them may have some jitters. I'm not saying that I think they're just going to be cold all the time, but I just feel like the Lakers are going to win it in 5, and I don't see the Lakers really struggling too much in this one.
You said 5?
Yep, Lakers in 5.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't disagree with that too much. I don't think they're going to win on Phoenix's home court.
I think it's
in 6. But
I think it's going to be a really close series.
I hope it is.
I think you're discounting Phoenix a little bit.
I think the only thing he's discounting is the little Chris Paul jab he threw.
I mean,
That's not a lie.
It was more of like a hook, but
it was a truth.
To some degree, I feel bad for Phoenix. I think it's crazy to play that well all year and then have the injuries and have them fall down and have to play them in the first
100%.
round. It's crazy. But
Okay.
I mean, hey, you're probably gonna have to beat them eventually. I mean, if at the beginning of the year you were looking at the outset, you're like, well, we're gonna have to go through LA at some point to get to the
in
final.
in a 7-game series, I picked Phoenix over a lot of teams in the West. The Lakers aren't one of them. The 2 win the East, I think, are pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters who they play. I mean, I think we just rip through them.
I'm going to tell you that I got the Sixers in 5, and I got the Nets in 5. I'm going to go quick on that one.
I actually have the Nets in 4.
Yeah, I actually got both in 4.
That's the only
Nets and Sixers.
So don't. The
Sweet
Sixers
both.
are going to. JoJo's going to be sick one game with his stomach.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
JoJo's going to wake up on the wrong side of the
Celtics-
bed one day and not play.
Ben's going to have
have
2
anybody.
points, 7 turnovers.
It's going to happen.
One,
Well, they don't
I'm
have to play
telling
the
you.
Celtics. They'd probably be the Wizards. The Wizards aren't going to beat you guys.
Bro, Russell
Again.
Westbrook's going to have a 48-point triple-double one game. Watch, I'm telling you. Sixers might lose 2 games in that series.
Nope.
Oof.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It's not.
I do think Brooklyn sweeps Boston pretty easily, actually.
I think Tatum scores 50 and 1 and wins 1.
That won't be enough.
I love you. It's probably accurate. All right, give me your finals prediction. Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? I'll go last because I have the same one all year.
I'm going with
Da-da-da.
Philadelphia 76ers.
What?
Versus the LA Lakers.
Wow. So Sixers win the championship. I mean, Ben Simmons is LeBron stopper. Just call it like it is.
Okay.
Who do you have winning it?
Not giving it to you.
Okay.
yet.
Give me yours. You don't have to. We're
right.
just picking finals prediction.
I I want the Sixers to make it. I just don't know. I 100% think it's going to be Boston versus Philly in the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't know if we. What?
Brooklyn.
Sorry, Brooklyn.
Boston.
Did I say Boston? Sorry.
No.
I mean, I just trashed Boston. That's why I was still in my mind. Sorry. Definitely Brooklyn. I just don't know. I just don't know how that series is going to play.
I want to hear
out.
how you don't know. Give me your finals prediction.
I'll go Boston. Or not,
Boston again?
Brooklyn. Brooklyn versus.
It's not like we talked about this before the show or anything.
And I didn't say because I was still going over it. I don't think the Lakers are going to make it out. I just think something crazy is going to happen. I'll go Brooklyn versus Utah.
Okay, I have Brooklyn versus the Clippers, and I have the Clippers in 6. And I'll say that now. I've had it all year. I've had the Clippers over Brooklyn. I'm sticking with it. I like the Clippers over Brooklyn. I think they're the worst matchup for them outside, my general manager.
And we talked about it before defensively. I mean, it play. I mean, they're the one team that can
give them problems.
Correct. Put 3 guys out there that can at least stay in front of their 3 guys.
That is correct, sir.
I like it.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get a lot of NBA talks, a lot of stuff, real quick, because we got PGA to get into. I want you to tell me one team in the NHL playoffs that looks better, and one team that's in trouble.
Okay.
One team that looks better, one team. Chow, you can go last. I know you're the resident NHL guy.
Well, it's a little tough because 2 of the series haven't been. Well, Edmonton just started, but the other one hasn't even started yet. But go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah. Always you.
So the team that I would say is looking better, I would go with the Paint. I go with the Bruins. Bruins would be my team that I go with.
I thought you were going to say 3 different things there.
Team that's in bad shape right now, Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Panthers are in bad shape.
Oh, yeah.
Very bad shape.
Panthers are done. Bruins and Washington actually are about to start the second overtime. Right now they're tied 2-2.
Yeah, Bruins need to win that game.
Oh, 100%.
For me, the team that's looked really good is the Lightning. A team I think is in real trouble is the Islanders. Now, let me tell you why the Islanders are in trouble. I know it's 1-1.
Yeah,
I get
that's
that.
interesting. Go ahead.
I think Pittsburgh at the end of that game really figured them out. Like, all right, so like last year the Islanders knocked out Pittsburgh, and when I watched that series, I watched them like almost have that they figured out Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a better team. It's just the Islanders played them really well. Kind of like the way the Islanders played the Flyers, when I think the Flyers were the better team last year, and the Islanders won the series. I think Pittsburgh figured them out at the end of game 2. Won the game. The game got really scrappy. They got real physical. They got real into it. It was a fun game to watch. I'm going Penguins 4-1. I don't think they're losing their game in series.
Oof.
It's easy to go with Florida and Tampa. Florida's my bad one.
I'm not. It's funny. I'm glad you brought that game up because I'm actually going the opposite of you. Florida. I'm not going to use Florida as in trouble because they're done. Tampa Bay got all their guys back. They're all healthy, and they look like Tampa Bay did 4 months ago before everybody got hurt. They were my preseason team to go against Colorado, so I mean that's still in play. I mean they totally made a joke of the salary cap situation, but we'll get into that in another show. I think Pittsburgh's in trouble. I think Jerry he was really bad in game 1. He came back and played well game 2. I'm not going to disagree with you that Pittsburgh's the better team. The Islanders have a habit, and I'm glad you brought up the Flyers. They play with Barry Trotz. They play a very, very good defensive system. They frustrate Pittsburgh.
They frustrate a lot of teams.
They do. They're going. I will tell you this: whoever wins Game 3 is going to win that series. So whoever wins tomorrow night in New York is going to win that series.
Yeah.
If Pittsburgh comes out of New York down 3-1, it's definitely over. Like they're not the same team they were 8 years ago to come back from that hole. That's going to be a very interesting series. Boston absolutely does need to win tonight as well. That was a good point you said. So I will go with Pittsburgh being in the most trouble. I haven't seen Toronto or Edmonton play yet, so I mean they're both playing tonight. I want to see them. And then Colorado is Colorado. They look great. Vegas has looked really good too. It's kind of a travesty that they're tied 1-1 because they've outplayed Minnesota start to finish both games. Cam Talbot just stood on his head in game 1 and made like 45 saves. But
Vegas wins that series 4-1 too.
It's probably 4-2 at worst. I agree though. So
I like Vegas a lot.
I like Vegas a lot. I love Colorado though.
Me too. I like Vegas.
Speaking of Vegas, Control just came back. We're going to talk about a lot more NHL. We got the playoffs ahead of us. We're going to talk about it a lot more. Next few weeks will be a lot of NBA, a lot of NHL. We got the PGA Tour Championship this weekend. We got to get into that. We got a lot to go over still. What I want you to give me at least one guy to win a tournament, maybe two. And I want you to give me at least one long shot to win a tournament, maybe two.
I'll go fun facts first before you guys start getting your picks, just for the
fun facts.
Fun facts. So they're playing Kiawah Island. They're playing the ocean course. Very difficult course. There is literally no barriers between this course and the ocean.
Talking about the ocean course that I play on the Golden Tee?
Yes, correct.
Yes, I love that course.
But like the real one.
I'm kidding. Like the real one.
It's a Pete Dye course. The classic Pete Dye architect. It's going to challenge you every shot you hit, no matter where you hit it from. Gives you risk reward. A lot of his staples on this course, obviously. It's a more wide open course than a lot of other majors they play on. The fairways are a little bit more forgiving, but if you do miss a fairway on this course, you get penalized more than you will anywhere else. Everything's pretty much a waste bunker, or you're in weeds, like high, like fescue grass, or sand. So you miss a fairway, you're going to get penalized beyond belief on this course. And like I said, it's exposed. It's you can have 40-mile-per-hour winds on that course. So the guys that can flight their ball, can play in the wind better, they're guys you want to lean towards this week. 7,876 yards this week. It is the longest major ever played. It will break the record this week. So, again, depending on which way the wind's blowing, some of those 4s and 5s are going to play ridiculously long, or they're going to play really short so guys can attack them. It's going to be really – the cool thing about this course is most courses you play on, you have a prevailing wind, way the wind blows normally most of the time. You don't have that because it's on the ocean. You can come in one day, come from the east, the next day come from the west. Totally different golf course. So it's going to be fun to watch.
So start with yours then.
17th is the signature hole. You'll see a lot of it this weekend. It's par 3. It's all carryover water. It's almost like the Island Green at TPC, which he designed as well. My two guys to win, I'm going with Rory, and I'm going with Jon Rahm. Rory, I think, has kind of got it back on track. He's familiar with the course. The last time they played here in 2012, when they had the PGA there, Rory won it. Won it by 8 strokes going away. Jon Rahm's got to win one eventually. He's just too good. He's playing well. Sets up well for him. He's a big bomber. He can carry the ball as well.
He's like a solid bet to bet any top 10.
Yes.
Like every major
And
tournament.
again, I know what these guys are going to say, so I'm not going to take their picks. Pretty much everybody that we're about to say is a favorite. If you want to lay money on them to finish in the top 10, to Gene's point, it's a very good, safe bet, and you'll win money. Top 10, you're not going to get the same odds you're going to get to win the tournament outright, obviously, but you're still going to get them at
Jon Rahm's still like plus 185.
Correct. You're still going to get plus 150, plus 185 for these guys. So if they hit, you're still going to you're pretty much doubling your money. So my two favorites to win are Rory and Jon Rahm.
Okay, give me your 2 long shots.
The long shots.
Unless you're stealing one of mine, because I'll be mad about that.
I don't think they are. No, I'm not. I think some of the odds I've seen are they're just straight disrespectful this week. I just don't understand them. My first one is Corey Connors, Mr. Kent State. He's had a career year so far this year. If you look at all the advanced stats for putting the ball in play, driving, approach, all that stuff, he's in the top 20 in almost every stat for the PGA this year. His one weakness is putting. These greens this week are not as fast as they are at Augusta or like a U.S. Open, so it'll help him a little bit. He struggles with really fast greens. I think that'll keep him in it. And then the other one is my guy Brooks Koepka. He's plus 5,000. He says he's healthy. He's hitting the ball way better this week. Everybody that's played with him said he kind of looks like old Brooks. He's plus 5,000. I don't know how that is. He's won the damn thing twice.
I love how he said old Brooks.
Old Brooks.
Who's like playing like old Brooks?
So I'm going. Those are my 2 long shots. Going
All right,
with Corey Connors and Brooks Koepka.
I like it. Brooks Koepka is a really good one at plus 5,000. Give me your.
All right,
do
so
one or two?
who I'm picking to win it is Dustin Johnson. He's
go DJ. Oh, that's my DJ.
I feel like he's gotta get him a PGA championship. He's finished second 2 years in a row now.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not as important as like the Masters because it's not the same course. But I think that mentally he knows I'm trying to get over the hump here. And my long shot here is probably the craziest long shot you'll probably ever hear from me. And I don't know why, but I just got a feeling. My man Francesco Molinari.
That is a shot in the dark.
I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I got a feeling that he's going to play well this weekend.
Here's one thing I can tell you.
Charles got a crystal ball.
Anytime you play in bad weather, it's never a bad thing to lean the European players because they play in it all the time.
I have two of each. Do you have any more?
Nope, that's it. That's it for me.
Okay, so I have two of each. Jordan Spieth going for the Grand Slam of Majors.
He's my number 3. Love it.
Plus 1,800.
Yep.
John Rahm plus 1,500. They're my two favorites that I'm going to bet the place top 10, and I'm going to bet for them to win. My two long shots. Now pay attention, guys. PG Gene hit this one last time. Scotty Scheffler, not Adam, his brother, Scotty Scheffler, plus 4,800.
Love it.
Hits
Love
the
it.
ball, drives it long. And then Will Zalatoris, who played a great Masters. Good player, plus 4,700. I'm only betting Will Zalatoris, and I'll tell you exactly why. I don't know if he's going to win, but I think the odds are too stupid for me not to bet him. So plus 4,700, I'll be putting $40 on both of them. Hopefully I can cash out with a nice odds like I did on the Masters. So they are my 4 picks for PGA. Let's wrap it up with You Gotta Be Kidding Me.
Who's starting?
You.
You always start.
Start every week.
All righty. So
lead us off.
All right. So this week, I'm going to go with Major League Baseball, and it's actually not because of any umpiring, surprisingly. So there was a home run hit. What was this, yesterday?
2 days ago now.
2 days ago. Game was out of hand between the White Sox and
It's Twins.
Those Twins. So game was out of hand between the White Sox and the Twins. They were up 15-4 at a point. Mercedes comes up from the White Sox, hits a home run off of a position player on a 3-0 count. I get it. Unwritten rules of baseball, yada, yada, yada. I understand. I think the unwritten rules of baseball just in general need to go. Look, if you don't want anybody to keep getting runs on you, then how about you have a better game, and then you won't be in that position where you have position players out there on the mound. And for a lot of these players, you got to think too. They have pieces of their contract where they get performance-based incentives at the end of the season. So if you can get a gimme home run off of a guy, why not take it? I hate the unwritten rules of baseball, and for me, it made it even worse because the White Sox manager, La Russa, came out and said, "Oh, we're going to give him consequences, our own consequences in the locker room." And for me, I just feel like your manager has to be behind the guy. You could say you don't agree with it, but don't say you're going to give him consequences in the locker room knowing that this guy is going to get thrown at in games anyway. So this whole unwritten rule of baseball thing for me.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
You know the worst part of that was?
What's
the
that?
fact that Tony La Russa basically said he would be okay with the other team throwing at him.
I was going to say, I disagree with most of what you said. The part I do agree with you is you can't – I'm okay with him even saying we'll handle this internally and leave it at that and not say what they're going to do or whatever. I was horribly against that part of it.
That was terrible.
You can't say they handle it the right way when they throw at your player. You can't do that as a manager. That's
I feel like La Russa, he's so old school. Like the game is just essentially.
By the way,
we don't have time to do this, and if we want to bring it up next week, we can.
We will.
But
we'll get.
I don't want to say anything like disrespectful, but like if you play the game.
No, you're right.
You're talking this way. Like
right.
there's certain aspects of it you understand more.
You're 100% right.
So
just a real quick update: Corey Kluber just threw a no hitter. Just second one in as many.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's 6.
Crazy.
The major league record in a year is 7, I believe. So we're at 6.
Second one in as many nights.
Wow.
Corey Kluber.
That's another whole
Your
discussion.
boy.
That's another whole discussion of baseball because everybody just either hits a home run, strikes out, or whatever. Because baseball is all about computer nerds now.
Give me yours.
All right, so I'm going to go back to another one of my favorite dead horses I like to beat, the NCAA, and the joke that they are as a governing body. More specifically, the way they handle women's athletics. Last weekend, there was supposed to be a NCAA Division I golf championship regional down in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. LSU was hosting it. They got about 7 inches of rain in 3 days. Course was obviously wet. They then made a decision to cancel the regional. They never made any effort to drain the course. They had a million different options. They could have played lift, clean, in place, which all golfers are used to doing. They could have made the bunkers that have wood in them. They could have just made them lateral hazards where it's not a stroke. There's a million things they could have done to let these girls play. Most of these girls are not becoming professional golfers. If you watch the video, the one girl filmed it when the guy came out of the clubhouse and announced it. A whole bunch of them started crying. Again, the one girl even screamed. She said, "Thank you for ending my career." This all boils down to what I've mentioned on the show before. They just renewed Mark Emmert's contract to be the president of the NCAA. This guy has not made one good decision in regards to college athletes, their well-being, anything in the last 3 years, and they just renewed his contract and gave him another $10 million. It's a joke. These guys are out of touch. They have, we just went through the whole NCAA March Madness debacle where the guys were staying in 5-star hotels, were working out in pretty much professional gym equipment that was brought into the banquet rooms for them. The girls had a couple dumbbells and stretching ribbons. Something needs to be done. I don't know how this guy got reelected. I don't know how they extended his contract. You can't keep doing these. We have to remember at the end of the day, these are kids. Less than 1% of these kids go on to play professional sports. They are student athletes. You have to give them the experiences and reward all the hard work that they pay off for. For them to, that did happen. But again, that is not even. That's Dave Portnoy doing the right goddamn thing. Like
just
he always
for anybody
does.
listening at home on the podcast, Barstool Sports just picked up the tournament and the NCAA approved it. So shout out to Dave Portnoy. I don't give a shit if he sponsors or not.
But the crazy thing is, he picks it up. He's paying for all their flights, so the schools don't have to pay for him. He's paying for the lodging. He paid to get the course locked down and get it in condition. He's all paying out of pocket. And then you're telling me the president of the NCAA can't make these guys go drain the course or try to get it ready for them to play. It's a joke. It's another black eye for the NCAA. It's another huge black eye for Mark Emmert. They need to replace him. So for me this week, again, it's the NCAA.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Bill, I really appreciate you adding that to the show each week. To be honest with you, the slight women's sports gets in the NCAA, in the WNBA, in especially Olympic soccer is brutal. And, I met someone recently. I won't put her name out there, but I met her recently. She was a customer. She was a collegiate athlete, college basketball, and she was talking about it herself. These are both college. Her mother was a collegiate basketball player. She was a collegiate basketball player, and she was talking about how the NCAA tournament was. And it's tragic. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, and I'm going to give a little bit of a funny one. For this week, mine's Kwame Brown, if you haven't noticed. He's been all over social media, and it's the most anyone said Kwame Brown's name since he's been drafted. But the one comment that annoyed me more than everything, he went on an epic rant talking about how, he wasn't that big of a bust because did you see the screens I was setting for Kobe Bryant? Talking about, screen assists. And, he was just actually a better player than what he really was. Because he had so many good screen assists for Kobe Bryant. I don't understand Kwame Brown's irrelevance rivals Jamarcus Russell's. I think it's just that's where it's at. He's looked at as one of the 5 top 10 or 5 all-time busts in any sport ever. If it wasn't from your boy from Anthony Bennett from Cleveland, I think he'd be the worst bust ever in NBA history. Kwame Brown for this week, it's so simple. For you?
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Who was desperate enough for a guest that they put Kwame Brown on the show?
He went
He went on his
Live.
own Instagram, yeah.
Jesus.
But, it went viral, and it's hilarious.
And now he's going at everybody, and not everybody, but he went at Stephen A. Smith, Matt Barnes.
Of course, he's got
So what?
Stephen
So
Jackson.
what? Saying he sucks? He does suck. What is their problem? Dude's a crumb.
Crumb. He's using Delco terms now.
Crumb.
Don't use that. We have another radio place that listens to us that cries if we say anything that's any bit original. They think we're stealing from them.
They're crumbs, too.
Guys, we had a funny show. Show 32. I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. this is it. Any final words?
No, I gotta put this bracket together. So
Yes.
Tomorrow, I'll be on East Coast Gridiron. So
yes.
tune in to that
tune
as
in.
well.
We didn't plug
Dante
ours.
and
Yeah, we make sure we plug him.
My bad, Dante. 100% East Coast Gridiron, College Cottrell, beautiful little suit, and you got to check it out. A lot of you guys got to invite.
That promo was snazzy.
It was. Dante's so much better at the
Yeah.
graphics than I will ever be.
I don't know.
But I'll be tuning in. Might call in, see if I can hop in and just steal Cottrell shine for a minute.
I'd love to argue against you, prove you wrong.
Depends on what we're talking
Yeah, I
about.
mean,
Prove me wrong. Stop it.
Yet again.
You guys didn't,
Stop
You
it.
guys didn't do enough of it tonight.
Lucky they don't talk about basketball.
Oh, well, hey, listen. Basketball and football, I
fired.
will own you. Guys,
Now with Chris Paul.
stop.
Listen, you're talking to the number 66 ranked
Real
junior
quick,
air
before-
hockey player right here.
Real quick, before we get off the air, who's a better basketball player, Chris Paul or Steve Nash?
Steve Nash.
In the show. It's
Oh.
time. It's time. It's time.
He admitted he was just wrong, and it's good. I'm glad he did. Listen, sometimes when you don't watch basketball until you're,
Yeah.
11 years old, you didn't see Steve Nash play, so it's fine. Guys, fun show. Sorry,
Yes.
just kidding around. I'm sure you're awesome.
Our show is so much better than Chris Paul's playoff pedigree. So
Oh!
All right, guys, we're wrapping up.
Finish him.
Show 32. Signing out. Have a good one.
See you guys.